All right, guys, welcome back. Here it is. I wrote a little something right here. Please, Mr. Trump, feel free to use this at any of your rallies. This is what Donald Trump should say in response to Hillary's testimony to the FBI, where she claimed 40 different times that she didn't remember or she couldn't recall vital information from her time as Secretary of State. Mrs. Clinton, Trump should say, Mrs. Clinton, it astounds me that you have the gall to ask us, the American people, to cast our votes for you for president. Mrs. Clinton, you have replaced good old-fashioned honesty and integrity with BleachBit and hammers. And really, BleachBit and hammers, is it any wonder we don't trust you, Hillary? In a pretend to talk to the press conference on your plane, cut short by coughing, Mrs. Clinton, you claimed, and I quote, I take classification seriously. I went into the State Department, you said. I went into the State Department understanding classification. I've been on the Senate Armed Services Committee for years before I was Secretary of State. So that's 8 more years we should worry about then, Mrs. Clinton. 8 years of you as a sitting senator on the Armed Services Committee of all places, handling classified information with the same understanding that led you as Secretary of State to use BleachBit to wipe your server and hammers to crush your phones. Just so we're on the same page here. Hillary, you thought the C on your emails meant the emails were alphabetically organized. What a load of baloney. Every GS1 clerk knows on their first day of the job that C means confidential or the lowest level of classified. So what, does TSI clearance now stand for too stupid to interpret? Donald Trump should ask and should keep asking relentlessly until the American people take up the call too. Mrs. Clinton, did you have no expectation that as Secretary of State you would be dealing with classified information? There are only 2 options here. Either she knew, Hillary knew everything. She knew about the private server. She knew it was illegal. She knew she was handling classified information illegally and dangerously. She knew her staff was destroying evidence that would convict her of violations of the Espionage Act. She knew she was selling favors to foreign businessmen, and she knew her private email server was built to protect her from transparency, from you and I knowing what she did while we trusted her with one of the highest offices in the land. That's option number 1. Either she knew or she's stupid. Either she knew or she's stupid. And if the answer is option number 2, then Mrs. Clinton, why should we trust you to be president if you don't have the deductive capacity to recognize that the C marking on your emails meant the information was classified as confidential? And that's my final point. You can reach me on Twitter at Liz_Wheeler. And if you liked the show, please send me an email at oann.com/contact. And exciting news, guys. We're moving to an all-new time. 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, just like you asked. The new time starts September 12th, but tomorrow catch Tipping Point at 10 p.m. Eastern, and have a good night.